Good evening. Good evening. Thank God today is Friday, and we are delighted to welcome you in another section of this training. And I know we are going to have an interesting time as usual. I think we have been enjoying the training, and today is also going to be another interesting time to spend time together studying emotional intelligence. And I believe that you are going to be part of this meeting from the beginning to the end. Yes. So, and I want to thank you, Okapo, Dr. Odipo, for being so punctual. Moses Azaya, I want to appreciate all of you for connecting in time. And Ambassador Loki is also a distinguished doctoral fellow of the Institute of Global Peace and Conflict Management. I appreciate all of you for taking time to be part of today's meeting, and we are going to have an interesting time. So, Rafael, I want to also thank you. Thank you for joining us, and happy weekend. I know you're going to have an interesting weekend altogether. So, my name once again is Tauli Joshua, and I have been your facilitator from day one. We are on it. We are not giving up. And this is just the beginning. So, thank you very much. We appreciate you for your sacrifice, for your time, and for your consistency. It has not been easy, but you have been following and you have been, consistent and you are learning. So for us, it's a privilege. Today is going to be executive kind of training. Don't you see my chair? Executive. Let's tell you that location have changed seriously. So today we are going to look at a very interesting topic, and we are going to module 6. We have covered module 1 to 5 so far from in this training. And today we are going to go to module 6. So, and in module 6, we are going to cover an interesting area, and I believe that you're going to enjoy it. How we can bring emotional intelligence in our organization, because emotional intelligence is needed not just in leadership, and leadership basically it applies in any organization. So every organization must cultivate the culture of emotional intelligence. So we'll be looking at what are the ways in which you can integrate emotional intelligence into your organization. So, and I believe it's going to. So I think some of us, or most of us, say are working. So either or some of you are funders or institutions. So how are you going to integrate emotional intelligence in your organization? How are you going to incorporate emotional intelligence in your organization as a manager, as a leader, as a CEO? Okay. So at whatever level you found yourself, what do you need to do to integrate emotional intelligence in your organization? So that's what we're going to look at. All right. And so if you join us, do way to share the meeting. Yesterday I took attendance of those that I wrote your names out. So I will be writing the names out until the final day. I will share the names, and those are the people we are going to share the link with for them to write their exams. So if you didn't see your name, don't chat to me privately, because I will not consider you at the end of the day, because for us, we consider you not being consistent. So except you will come decide to do a general forgiveness for everybody, otherwise we will not. So let's look at the topic for today: cultivating emotional intelligence in organizations. And we are saying that cultivating emotional intelligence within an organization can significantly enhance workplace dynamics, improve communication, and boost overall productivity. So that's what it means when we make it necessary to see that our emotional intelligence, you know, is being applied in our organization. It facilitates workplace dynamics, bring what we call improve communications in the workplace, and apart from that, boost overall productivity. So it is of utmost importance that we must bring emotional intelligence in our organization to achieve all of this that we have discussed here, we have mentioned here. So now, emotional intelligence in organizational culture, all right? Emotional intelligence in organizational culture, understanding the role of emotional intelligence in shaping our organizational culture, all right? Understanding the role of emotional intelligence in shaping organizational culture. How can we bring emotional intelligence in an organization that can, shape the culture of the organization? All right, because every organization have its culture, has its own principles. They have its core values. They have principles. There are principles that guide every organization and every operation. But how do we bring emotional intelligence to integrate with this cultural interplay, or whatever principle organization have been set for itself, and for the good of the organization? So how are we going to bring emotional intelligence into play in this kind of scenario? So we said that emotional intelligence plays a crucial role in shaping organizational culture by influencing how employees interact, communicate, and collaborate. Do you understand? So it's very important that you should, be mindful and be interested to see how the employees themselves are interacting, and then communicate. How do they communicate? Is communication kind of abusive, or kind of encouraging and motivating, inspiring others to achieve, the set goals as organization, as a team? So we'll be looking at the ways in which emotional intelligence impacts on organizational culture. What are the ways that emotional intelligence impacts on organizational culture? One of the ways is that it enhances communication. It enhances what? Communication. Because leaders and employees with high emotional intelligence, can communicate more effectively. Do you understand? They can express their feelings and understand others easily. Do you understand? Because they have high emotional intelligence. That is, when you have high emotional intelligence, means that you are empathic, you are effective in communication, you listen. Do you understand? You seek for feedback, and all of those, factors that make us to be considered as emotionally intelligent people. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So by having and bringing emotional intelligence into your organization, it will influence the way leaders and employees themselves communicate, interact, and then make sure that goals are being achieved, because you try to understand each other's emotions. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So leading to clearer and more productive interaction. So that's what the impact of emotional intelligence in organizational culture when it comes to effective communications. Do you understand? And then we talk about conflict resolution, because we say that where two or more people gather together, there can be conflict. There's possibility of conflict, and apart from that, we do have what we call intra conflict, even conflict within ourselves. So we can see how conflict is inevitable and can occur anywhere. Do you understand? So emotional intelligence help individuals manage and resolve conflict constructively, because when you are highly emotionally intelligent, it helps you to, you know, first and foremost, be aware of your emotions, and then exhibit self-control. Do you understand? Or self-regulations. Do you understand? And then it gives you ability to put your emotions in check, and then you can be able to respond effectively. So that's what it means. You understand? So by recognizing emotional triggers and responding empathically, teams can navigate, disagreements more smoothly. Yes, because there are bound to be disagreement. And like Obama said, we can disagree without being disagreeable. So when you disagree without being so disagreeable, then it means that your emotions are highly, you know, you are a person of highly emotional intelligence. Do you understand? So it's very, very vital that we incorporate emotional intelligence in our organization. So leadership effectiveness is also another reason why we must incorporate emotional intelligence in our organization. And this is one of the impact of emotional intelligence on the organizational culture. It helps to promote leadership effectiveness, right? So leaders with strong emotional intelligence inspire and motivate their teams. You understand? You don't just put your team down, but you are always encouraging and inspiring them to achieve the maximum result that you want as an organization. They create supportive atmosphere, encouraging open dialogue and trust, which are essential for a positive organizational culture. Do you understand? So this is what you need, and that's what every organization needs. An effective leadership at the frequency of higher emotional intelligence, and then you get your result as you want it. All right. So another impact of emotional intelligence on organizational culture is employees' engagement. All right. Emotional intelligence contribute to higher employees' engagement where employees feel understood and valued. You understand? They are more likely to be committed to their work and the organization enhances overall morale. Do you understand? So when you give organization and employees and everybody, the team, opportunity to contribute, even when it comes to formulating policies, I told you that you can only be committed to a policy you yourself participated in formulating for to see to it that it's being implemented to the fullness. Do you understand? So that is the reason why you must give people opportunity to contribute their own quota. It motivates them, it encourages them, it inspires them to do more for the organization. Do you understand? So, and I'll talk about adaptability and change management. When there's change, do you understand, in organization, how do people embrace change? Because one thing with change is that it's constant. And even in your organization, there may come a time that change will occur. Maybe you'll be transferred, or you may be reassign other responsibilities. And when such a time comes, how do you embrace it? How do you see change? How do you see the opportunity to adapt to new maybe functions or to a new environment or to deal with transfer, moving out of your base to another location, maybe where your family is, and so all those kind of challenges and then confront you. So how do you adapt it? So emotional intelligence, help employees to prioritize, what change that is at hand and how they can be able to address it. So that's what it means. So employees with high emotional intelligence can adapt to new situations and support their colleagues during transitions, which is vital for maintaining a healthy culture. So that's what it means. All right. So diversity and inclusion, another important impact of emotional intelligence on organizational culture is the enhancement of what diversity and inclusion. Because we have diverse people working together as a team from different background, different perspective. Do you understand? Different colors, different languages, and so many other stuff that differentiate us. So emotional intelligence foster empathy and understanding, helping to create an inclusive culture where diverse perspectives, all right, are valued. Diverse perspectives are valued. That is what it means. That's how emotional intelligence impact the organizational culture. This can lead to more innovative solutions and a stronger sense of belonging among employees. No any form of discrimination, no backbiting, no criticism. If there's an issue, they encourage open dialogue and communicate effectively to make sure that whatever disagreement is being settled whatever challenges, means nobody is being discriminated against on the fact that, okay, you are not from my place, or you are not of my tribe, or you are not of my race, or you are not of my whatever. No, there's no such. You understand? And then people's different opinions are being put into consideration, and as a result, it built a sophisticated team, right? A team that is way connected, and that brings productivity in the organization. So emotional intelligence enhance diversity and inclusion in organizations. It's very important, because any organization that is working so divided can collapse at any point in time, because where the vision of the organization is going, the team members are not putting hands together towards the vision. There's division, there's a crash of interest here and there, and also other stuff. And so it affects the overall productivity of the organization and the morals of the employees themselves, and then affect productivity. So inclusion is very important. And then feedback and development. All right. Emotional intelligence also, facilitate effective feedback and development. A culture that emphasizes emotional intelligence encourages constructive feedback. So instead of just focusing on criticisms, what do? You try to communicate in a way that it builds individuals, not the kind of communication that destroys individuals. Do you understand? So that's what it means. Employees are more open to receiving and giving feedback when it is delivered with empathy, leading to personal and professional growth. So these are the areas and ways in which our emotional intelligence impact the organizational culture. And so the question now is, do you integrate emotional intelligence in your organization? Based on what we have discussed, is there any element of emotional intelligence in your organization? I know most organizations have, integrated most of the elements of emotional intelligence in their organization. We understand, but in some organizations we also have challenges where, when there are so much interest at the stake, discover that people tend to go their different way and not as a team. So let's look at some of the strategies, all right, for promoting emotional intelligence at all levels of an organization. What are the what are those strategies that can, help you to promote emotional intelligence at all levels of organization? That is, when we're talking at all levels, we're talking at the management, at the, at the leadership, at the top level of leadership, and then talk about that is whether at the board level, at the management level, and then we'll talk about the general workforce of the organization. So, what are those things that you're going to do to, promote emotional intelligence in your organization at all levels? Number one, training and development programs. All right, implement regular emotional intelligence training sessions for employees and leadership. Now, if yesterday you do not have a guideline or a guide, a manual that can help you to organize such training, today you have. So, even if you are not a management staff that join this training, you can still seek a permission for your organization, that because you have acquired this training and you have seen that this training is very vital and you think that it will benefit your organization, you can write to the management seeking a permission to organize this training. And then, because you have been trained, you can train them. Do you understand? If you have sincerely participated in this training, and with this study manual we are giving to you, you can organize this training for, your colleagues and other, even management staff can also participate in it. You understand? So it's, you can write and seek for permission to organize such kind of training, and it will be very, very encouraging. So training and development programs that are, are centered on emotional intelligence can help to bring the the impact of emotional intelligence that we have discussed on your organizational culture. So you also organize workshops that can focus on self-awareness, empathy, communication, skills, do you understand, and emotional regulation. So all of this can help you to begin to instill the high sense of emotional intelligence in your organization. And then we'll talk about modeling emotional intelligence at the leadership level. Leaders should exemplify exemplify higher emotional intelligence. It is very, very disheartening when you see leaders talk anyhow. Do you understand? And that is why it's because of lack of intelligent communication that has even caused leadership so much trouble, even at the country level, at the national level. Not talking about at the organizational level, I'm talking about at the state level. Do you understand? And when I'm talking about state, I'm not just referring to state um, as a regional, uh, as a unit, as a federating unit. I'm talking about Nigeria as a whole. Leadership has been one of the pains of this country because we have what we call leadership disasters. We have not been privileged to have leadership that, okay, to some extent, if we can evaluate them and then rate them from the rate of number 1 to 5, then you can have some of them that may be given credit. For instance, Obasanjo administration, you can see that the Yar'Adua administration was also on the right track, and then all of that. So they may be given some credit, but the kind of crop of leaders that we have now, it is quite okay. We still thank God. We pray for them. We hope that they can be able to, see things differently and begin to speak and communicate as leaders, and they can even seek training. Some of them, because they have been leaders from one level to another, they feel that they have experience enough that they don't need any more training. But at that level, they still need some training to be able to communicate effectively, because the higher your office, the demand attached to that office. So they have to learn how to communicate intelligently to be able to achieve the result. All right. So leadership must first and foremost model emotional intelligence. Right. They must live by example. Do you understand? So active listening and effective communication, leaders set a standard of for the entire organization. When you talk so effectively, then you are setting a standard for your organization. Then integrating emotional intelligence into performance evaluation. All right. Integrating emotional intelligence into what? That is performance evaluation. So include emotional intelligence competencies in performance reviews. Do you understand? This encourages employees to develop their emotional intelligence skills as part of their professional growth. Do you understand? So now you can decide to now, when it comes to employees or performance evaluation, okay, you can begin to bring other factors like their level of empathy. Do you understand? Their level of communication skills. Do you understand? Their level of self-control. You begin to bring some of those things. Do you understand? I think in human resource management, we teach self-control as well. Self-regulation is very important because you have to control yourself. So how do they control themselves? How do they regulate themselves when they are in a very difficult situation? You understand? So if you can integrate this in your performance evaluation, and it's also going to constitute as part of the overall performance analysis, then it's going to help. This will encourage and motivate the employees to cultivate the culture of emotional intelligence. So creating a supportive environment. Creating what? A supportive environment. So emotional intelligence also can help, to foster a culture of open communication where employees feel safe, all right, expressing their thoughts and emotions. Nobody's constrained. Speak freely, speak your mind, speak what is bothering you. Do you understand? And then express how you feel. All right. So encourage team building activities that promote trust and collaboration. So it's very important that we do something like that. So providing resources and tools. All right. So offer resources such as books, online courses, and workshops. So how many of you who are management team that have invited your employees or some of your colleagues to come and join this training? You know, maybe you are a boss. How many of your team members have you invited them that something like this happened and they should come and be part of it and enjoy? Some of you will say even share. Just share when you work so that even your friends that are following you should see what is happening here. But some of you don't want to share, but you're benefiting from it. You don't want somebody else to benefit from it. But I also know some, like somebody today like this. She sent me a list when we shared the list of those that did the training on peace education. She thought maybe it was on emotional intelligence. So she sent me a list that she and her friends, do you understand? She and her friends were not on the list. And I was somehow encouraged. I said, wow, so this woman did not just come by herself alone. She came with her friends and she's speaking for her friends. Do you understand? That's she's coordinating the people that she invited for the training. That's why she was encouraged enough to speak for them. So that's what it means. So invite someone. You can even take the training with your wife so that your level of reasoning and emotional intelligence can increase. Do you understand? So that if you have been having misunderstandings, if you have been having issues, maybe after this training, your relationship will improve on the basis of this training. So it's going to be good. You can recommend your children who are matured enough to concentrate and learn something like this to join. And then you can see the level of relationship will improve. Your workers, you can improve. You are a founder of an organization. Those that are working with you, let them be part of the training so that they can learn something from you. So by doing, what happens? You will cultivate several, emotional abilities that we, enhance transformation in your organization. So creating a supportive environment is very important and can help the employees to express themselves freely without any form of fear, without any form of intimidation. They say things the way they feel it, with the hope that their perspective and their expression will be accommodated, not that their persons will be attacked. Do you understand? You can deal with the issue and forget the person. So that's what it means. So providing resources and tools also helps. So invite them, provide resources for them, give them books. You can even register a course for them. Someone you can register them to come and take a professional PhD in emotional intelligence, in alternative dispute resolution, in peace and conflict management, or workplace conflict management. That's some of the courses that we're going to bring out, workplace conflict management. And if you are a sport person, you can you're recommended to come and do sport and conflict management. Do you understand? So all of those things we have, or you can simply, if you are in the media space, you can recommend it to come and learn peace and conflict journalism. Do you understand? So we have several courses that connect all disciplines. So please try and come. Invite friends, even tell someone, tell your colleagues, tell your friends, let them come and benefit from it. Or share this book with them. Let them also go through it and learn something new. But if they can listen to this training, it will benefit them. Recommend our page to them. Let them follow us on our page. Let them subscribe to our YouTube. Then they will get some of these lessons. They can listen to it at their own pace. Do you understand? And then learn something. And if you can give them the manual, listening to video and reading the manual will and broaden their knowledge. You understand? So encourage feedback. Create a feedback rich environment where employees regularly give and receive constructive feedback. All right. This practice enhances self awareness and emotional growth. That's why you have to create a feedback mechanism whereby people can give feedback and receive feedback in a constructive manner, not to criticize. We are too quick to criticize. And then sometimes I also criticize. When I'm making references to our government here, I'm always in the form of criticism. Do you understand? But maybe there are challenges and the environmental influences and political influences that limit some of our leaders to behave the way they behave. Maybe they have their own challenges. Do you understand? And maybe because of the value they attach to their position, they may not be able to, you know, set records of distinctions. So that is the problem. So they just want to play along and they are just play along and go along. Just go, for the sake of the position. All right. I don't want to go and sit at home. At least this is what I have to take care of myself and my family. You understand? So promoting mindfulness and stress management. Promoting mindfulness and stress management. As a leader, sometimes there are certain positions that you say no to it because it may not benefit you much. But we do the kind of politics in our country in such a way that somebody accepts whatever position. Why are they accepting? Simply because they are not going there to work. It's just to go and enjoy. Just get your own than be taken to maintain and service your family. Otherwise, there's one person I knew. He was a member of State Assembly. From there, became the Speaker of the State Assembly. Went to House of Reps. After he finished House of Reps, after a while, he accepted to be advisor to the state government, to the state governor. Advisor. What are you advising? You understand? So I think by then I was even in politics there. When I began to criticize it, that is how his family members just come and they were attacking me. I say it's lack of focus and lack of leadership sense that you serve as a speaker of state assembly, you go and serve as a house of reps, and then you return an accepted advisor to the governor. What are you advising? We know that they don't advise anything. So it's for the sake of eating. Let me just continue to eat with my but servicing my family, whatever that is coming, and maybe get some kind of relevancy that is not needed. So, but if we can have feedbacks, right? If you allow people to tell you what is the truth, you discover that certain things you may not do them. And then I know of also a former governor who went and former deputy governor who contested for councillor. That is that is scattered arrangement, Walai. Very scattered arrangement. How can you from deputy governor you go and start election for councillor? How does that, emotional intelligence? Very, very important. So promoting mindfulness stress management is also another strategy to integrate or cultivate emotional intelligence in organization. Introduce mindfulness programs and stress management workshops. This can help employees develop emotional relations and regressions and resilience. So let's look at recognizing and rewarding emotional intelligence. And when people exhibit element and demonstrate capacity in emotional intelligence, do you acknowledge them? Do you recognize them? Do you give them credit for doing so? Do you give them credit for doing so? Do you reward them? Because you have to reward them so that it will encourage them to do more. So recognizing and rewarding emotional intelligence, acknowledge and reward employees who demonstrate strong emotional intelligence in their work. This reinforces what the importance of emotional intelligence. By so doing, they are committed. Some of them you can give them the most emotional intelligence staff of the year or of the month. Do you understand? It will motivate them and encourage others to also demonstrate emotional intelligence or imbibe the attitude that promotes emotional intelligence. So recognize and reward emotional intelligence, right? So facilitating peer coaching and mentoring. Facilitating peer coaching and mentoring. Establish peer coaching or mentoring programs that focus on developing emotional intelligence. This create opportunities for individuals to learn from each other. That's why I'm saying that maybe you are not in a management position in your organization. Do you understand? But if the organization have a place where you know peer coaching and mentoring is applied, then you can apply to the management that you have just finished a training on emotional intelligence and you ultimately feel that this training should be also replicated in this organization based on what you have benefited in that training. And then you can write to them formally. And then you also can tender, maybe if at the end of the day will give you a certification, you can tender as an evidence to support your application. And then they will give you the opportunity. You can, even if the management are not going to participate, you can train your colleagues, your peer. Do you understand? That's what we're talking about. So peer training or coaching and mentoring is very important. It's because you learn at that level, right? You learn at that level as a team. Come together, you learn together. That's what it means. So regular assessment and monitoring. Regular what? Assessment and monitoring. Conduct assessment to measure the emotional intelligence levels across the organization. Use surveys and feedback tools to gauge progress and areas for improvement. So it's very important. So this is what it means. Regular assessment and monitoring will help you to know the level at which your employees, your team is demonstrating emotional intelligence. But if you don't monitor, you do not observe, how will you know? So that's why you have to monitor. Carry out surveys if possible. Administer questionnaires to know your level of, to know this, the level of your staff reason. And that's why we are inviting you, some of you, for peace clinic. That's why we did not do our peace clinic today because of we other activities that overshadow. Yeah, but not that it was not put in consideration. We're just looking at how we'll meet up with other engagement. So because tomorrow is our induction, and then so many activities, overshadow that. But maybe those that we're supposed to take today will find a time and reschedule them so that they can participate. The reason why we're doing that is to assess the level of your understanding in this training. Some of you have been, some of you participated, some of you shy away, some of you give flimsy excuses why you cannot participate. So some people, so some of you give reasonable reasons why you cannot be part of the training. And that is what we're talking about here. So, but that for us, it's one area or one avenue for you to come so that we can assess your level of understanding in this training. So for those of you that are going to do your own peace clinic tomorrow, and get prepared, because at least by 2, we should be done with our induction. So hopefully by 4, we'll be having our inductions, our base clinic. So try as much as possible to get opportunity to participate. It will help. So let's look at some of the case studies. Do you understand? Let's look at some of the case studies of organizations with strong emotional intelligence cultures. So we'll look at some of them in other countries or in other continents, and then we'll look at some in Africa. We have some in Africa, we have some that have cut across globally. You understand? So, and maybe if I mention them, you can also agree that, okay, these organizations have been, using their emotional abilities, intelligence abilities to bring the organization to limelight. So let's look at some of to limelight. So what are those organizations? What are those case studies where we have seen emotional intelligence at work? Number one is Google. All right, we have Google. Google over the time places a high value on emotional intelligence. So integrating it into their hiring and management practices. Because when you go there to hire, maybe they will have to give you a test, examination test. So as you are responding, they are looking at your level of emotional intelligence. You understand? As you respond to the questions, your responses determine how highly emotional intelligence you are. Do you understand this? Very important. And so let's look at some of the key practices here. Hiring for emotional intelligence. Google looks for candidates who demonstrate high emotional intelligence, particularly in leadership role. That's what they do. Because as a leader, leadership is the major pillar of every organization. As leadership is a pillar of every country, so it is in every organization and every segment of our society, even in families. If a family do not demonstrate high level of leadership that is built on emotional intelligence, the family will be destroyed. Same thing applies to organization. Same thing applies to country. Today we are clamoring for this one and this one here in this country simply because leadership at various times have failed. Do you understand? That's what I mean. How can a leader be calling their citizens who are aggrieved and want to go on the street to go and protest to express how they feel, and then you are calling them idiots? That those people protesting are idiots. How can a leader speak like that? Are we in a rogue country? But we have seen that element, so I'm not surprised if such a kind of person would say that a former vice president at the time, a vice president of the country is too gentle to be the leader of the country, he should be selling ice cream on the street. Then you know it shows how low the level of emotional intelligence such a leader is, and that's what we're suffering. Somebody say, well, we cannot stop you protesting, but just know that while you're protesting, someone else will be eating. How can a leader speak like that? Are you bragging to us how you have so much food to eat or what? But it's one element that shows, it's an indication of the lack of what? Emotional intelligence. When you hear people speak like this, it shows clearly how zero emotional intelligent they are. So, but some of these organizations have focused on bringing people into the organization that are emotionally intelligent. And one of those is Google that we're talking about. When it comes to the hiring of those people at the management level, then the issue of emotional intelligence is of vital necessity. Then we talk about team effectiveness. All right. Research conducted by Google on team dynamics revealed that psychological safety rooted in emotional intelligence is a critical factor in high performing teams. Do you understand? So it's very important. So training programs. Google offers workshop on mindfulness and emotional intelligence to help employees develop their skills. So they have taken time to train their team and their employees on emotional intelligence. The question I want to ask you today, in your organization, are you doing that as a leader, or you don't care? You may have other training. You do sales training, all right? Training on sales or training sales, you know, sales training and other stuff. But do you know that you need to also integrate emotional intelligence into your marketing department? Very important. So, outcome. So, as Google embrace emotional intelligence in their organization, what has been the outcomes? Right? This focus on emotional intelligence has led to increased employee satisfaction. Innovation. You can see the level of innovation they started when they started. Some of you knew the story, how they started. Do you understand? But you can see where there's nothing that you do that you're not. The internet we're using now, Google has a one way or the other to play in it. Do you understand? Even the app that we're using, I don't use it without Google. Do you understand? So it's very important. And collaboration across teams. So that's how far the organization has gone. So the outcome has been massive. So let's look at Salesforce. Salesforce is also another example of one of those organizations that have, incorporate emotional intelligence in their organization. So Salesforce emphasizes emotional intelligence as part of its core values, particularly in its customer and employees relationship or employees relations. You understand? So what are key practices here? Ohana culture. The company promotes an Ohana, that is family culture, fostering a sense of belonging and support among employees. You don't abandon your employees. You give them opportunity, give them that sense of belonging, bring them together, and then make the team like a family. Ohana, all right? Family. Consider employees as family, not just, you don't look at them as employees you are paying the salary so you can be abused. No, you look at them as family, as a team. Training initiatives. Salesforce provides emotional intelligence training for employees focusing on empathy and communication skills. Leadership development. Leaders are encouraged to cultivate their emotional intelligence, which is reflected in their management style. As a leader, you must demonstrate high emotional intelligence, how you respond, how you give instruction, how you lead, how you direct, how you guide, how you handle issues under pressure, and also how you demonstrate and model emotional intelligence. Very important. Exemplify emotional intelligence. Very important. So what are the outcomes? What are the outcomes? Salesforce has been improved, has seen improved employee engagement and retention. That is, employees are not being sacked like that because of high emotional intelligence. The employees, they hardly sack their staff. Employees retention. That is, employees are also not resigning. Do you understand? Nobody's willing to resign because they enjoy the environment, they enjoy the work ethics, they enjoy everything because of high level of emotional intelligence at play in the organization. So nobody wants to say, oh, I'm not finding it easy in this organization. I think I should find my way out. I think I should leave. Do you understand? No. Yeah. So contributing to its overall success and reputation as a great place to work. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So if you are just joining this training, let me know that you are just joining. Tell me that I have just joined now. But if you have not joined now, I'm trusting God that people that are going to write this exam are not going to supersede 40 people. Because that is the number I've been seeing since this training. So, but if I come see people writing exams, 100, 200, 500, 600, it's an aberration. It's a total aberration. So, but as you have joined, do way to share it with someone. Let them come and learn what you are learning here. It's free. So it has been given to you freely. You too also share the link freely. It does not cost you anything to share the link. Freely it's given to you. Freely you also invite somebody to participate. And if you get this knowledge, you go and monetize it. That is, you go and organize paid training in your organization or whatever. You have to pay us commission. You have to pay us commission. Commission is very important. So you can do it to share with somebody. Some of you will be commenting that I am in Port Harcourt. Oh, I joined from Port Harcourt. I say we are in Port Harcourt. Come and show us love on a no show. You see? So don't tell me that you are from Port Harcourt again. It's better say tell me you are from Kenya, so that I will know that you are not near. Do you understand? So, but I hope we are learning something. And I hope that we are benefiting from it. I hope our time for the past 3 weeks has not been a wasted time. So please start working on your videos, your testimonials. You have to do a video telling us what you have learned in this training and how this training has impacted you. And then also how you are going to apply the knowledge acquired in this training. So you have to do that video. It should not exceed at most 3 minutes. It should not exceed 3 minutes. Or if at most we want it to 1 minute, at most 1 minute. Do you understand? 1 minutes. And I think that would be okay. But if you cannot be able to concisely say whatever you want to say within 1 minute, then you have maximum of 3 minutes to say it. But it should not exceed 3 minutes. If they exceed 3 minutes, we will not take it. It doesn't matter how many things you want to say. Maybe you may have so many good things to say, but say them in 1 minute, say them in 2 minutes, and if at all it is lengthy, then it should not exceed 3 minutes. So we want to see those videos. And maybe only those who do the videos will allow them to write the exam. We have different angles of catching the rat. It will catch you here, or catch you here, or catch you here. So there's no way you will run. You must enter our net. So, but we are not witch hunting anybody. We just want everybody to feel free. Just do your best. They're not putting anybody under pressure, please. But whatever is worth doing, do it well. You understand? Just give yourself, give your mind. So let's continue. I'm giving you an example of organizations that incorporate emotional intelligence in their organization. Then we'll talk about Johnson & Johnson. Johnson & Johnson also is one of the organizations that have integrated emotional intelligence into its leadership, development, and workplace culture. Do you understand? So, what are the key practices they have been doing over the years? Leadership development programs. The company offers programs that focus on empathy, self awareness, and team dynamics. That's what they have been doing. I'm not taking time to explain some of these concepts because these are concepts that have been reoccurring over and over in every chapter and every module of this training, because these are key concepts in emotional intelligence, self-awareness, self-regulation, empathy, team dynamics, and so many other stuff. Do you understand? Effective communications are some of the themes that have been coming over and over with little differences in explanation, just in the contextual explanation. Do you understand? So that's what it means. So employee support systems. J&J has robust support system for mental health and well-being, recognizing the importance of emotional health in the workplace. So it's very important. So diversity and inclusion. Another thing that they have been doing is making sure that uh, diversity is rooted in understanding and valuing different perspectives. Do you understand? So a key aspect of emotional intelligence, which is also we have just discussed in here, diverse perspective, diverse opinions, diverse behaviors. Do you understand? And then you put all of this to benefit the organization. So what are the outcomes? This focus on emotional intelligence has helped Johnson and Johnson maintain high employee satisfaction and loyalty. When we talk about loyalty, that is employees retention. They are not going anywhere. They want to continue with the organization. They want to continue to work for the organization. Do you understand? That's what it means. So contributing to its strong brand reputation. That's why we are mentioning it here today, because if they have not applied emotional intelligence in the organization, maybe we will not be mentioning them here today. You understand? So let's look at some of the case studies of companies from the African end. What are those companies? Number one, we have Safaricom in Kenya. The Kenyans in the house, because I saw some people say, I'm joining from Kenya. So if you are joining from Kenya, we don't make you proud now. All right? Safaricom. So your company is one of the companies that is promoting emotional intelligence. You understand? Safaricom. So overview. So Safaricom, a leading telecommunication company in Kenya, emphasizes emotional intelligence in its corporate culture. Do you understand? In its corporate culture. So what are the key practices? What are the key practices? What are the key practices here? Customer-centric approach. Customer what? Centric approach. Customer-centric approach. Safaricom trains employees to, empathize with customers, understanding their needs and emotions to enhance service delivery. Do you know that customers sometimes can be so provoked, can be so, tempered, can be so frustrated, most especially when they do not get the desired service. They get so frustrated, do you understand? And then they come into your organization expressing that frustration, and they don't express it in a way, a manner that is going to suit you. I told you of one experience we had. A lady came into the bank hall to do a transaction. By then I was with EcoBank, and then she went into into the convenience to ease herself, and then unfortunately there was no tissue there. So what happened was that she came out. She did not even use herself again. She came out And maybe instead of talking with maybe one of the cleaners or one of the staff to make sure that tissues is being provided, she did not say anything like that. She started shouting, "What kind of useless bank is this? How can a bank like this, an intercontinental bank for that matter, cannot have a tissue, common tissue in their convenience? Do I look like somebody who doesn't use tissue in my house?" Do you understand? This is how she was shouting. This thing I'm talking about, me, I'm not shouting, no. She was shouting on top of her voice. You know, women, no, if women want to shout, they can shout where. Do you understand? So she was saying this on top of her voice. And then that caught the attention of the manager. I don't know where tissue came from, oh, but before you know it, tissue find its way in the. So customers can come and express feelings. Some can express frustration in terms of transaction and so many other stuff, or product failures. Do you understand? And then in this kind of situation, how do you respond? How do you handle these customers? This is what Safaricom has been helping to train their employees to be able to respond in a particular manner. Do you understand? There are some times that customers may even ask you questions that are very, very sensitive. And so it takes emotional intelligence to respond to such questions. Do you understand? So that you can still balance whatever, so that you will not pursue a customer away. So Safaricom has been training their employees to maintain a customer-centric approach. Do you understand? That help them to understand the needs, the exact needs of the customer, and then the problems and the emotions that follows in. Is this emotion a joyful emotion, or an impulsive emotion? Do you understand? So you have to know it and respond in a particular manner that will address the needs of the customer. And then also leadership development is also one of the things that this organization is so happy to do to promote emotional intelligence in the organization. The company invests in leadership programs that focus on self-awareness, motivation, and interpersonal skills. Leadership is not easy. You understand? Because for you to be a leader, you must be motivated by yourself before you can motivate someone else. All right. And you must also be aware of your own emotions, because your emotions regulate some of the things that you do, influences your decision and your choices as a leader. So your choices, if you do not understand your emotions, can influence you to make wrong choices, and that will be at the detriment of your organization and your leadership. You understand? So you have to maintain high level of emotional intelligence as a leader. So they have been investing so heavily in leadership development programs. And then another one is employees engagement. All right. Safaricom regularly conduct employee surveys to gauge sentiments and address concerns, fostering a culture of openness. You understand? So employees freely express how they feel and how uh, their stay in the organization is being, viewed. Do you understand? How are they viewing their stay? How are they viewing their performance? How are they viewing the management relationship between the management and the employees, and the overall environment, workplace environment? How are they, feeling? So they express their own feelings. It's an open communication. You say whatever is in your mind. So that helps them to improve. But sometimes when people say their mind like this, they are being victimized. But Safaricom, no, they give them opportunity to. So if you are from Kenya, and what I'm saying is not correct, it's not tallying with what is in the you let us know down. Say it in the comments here. We are not saying the truth. This company is to have a different experience, but to make sure that it's have in the outcomes. This focus on traction. That's rating, that's customers rating them, and then a strong brand loyalty, contributing to Safaricom's market leadership in Kenya. Do you understand? So for them to be recognized in this training, you should understand that they are doing well. They are doing well, and I believe the Kenyans in the house can attest to it. All right. Then let's look at our Omega NTM group of companies in South Africa. All right. And some of you don't know that MTN is even from South Africa. Some of us think that it's from Nigeria. Do you understand? Because they are everywhere, you know, in Nigeria. So, but it's a company based in South Africa and a major telecommunication provider in Africa, incorporates emotional intelligence in its leadership and employees development strategies. So they're not just only in Nigeria, they are everywhere, just like we have said. They are in Ghana, they are everywhere. Yes, so key practices, what MTN has been doing is that they have been providing emotional intelligence training. MTN offers training programs that help employees develop self-awareness, empathy, and resilience. Right? So they also encourages diversity and inclusion because you work with different people. Do you understand? Different people. Despite the issue of xenophobia and all of that, MTN is still incorporating people, into its organization and bringing different and diverse people working into the institution. So it promotes a culture uh, that values diversity or and diverse opinions, all right, which are essential for emotional intelligence. So that's what NTM is doing. NTM is also providing a culture of feedback that encourages, a culture of intelligence. Okay, allowing employees to share their thoughts and feelings openly. All right, and I think that's the reason why they are where they are today. So one of the biggest telecommunication in West Africa, or in fact, not just in West Africa, in African region. Do you understand? The biggest telecommunication in very, 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 very big. Southern Africa, West Africa, it is massive. So what are the outcomes? Let's look at the outcomes. The outcomes is that by prioritizing emotional intelligence, MTN has improved its internal culture and employee engagement, resulting in better overall performance. And that's what is making them the leading telecommunication industry. Despite the fact that sometimes they do us shaggy. Do you understand what shaggy is? So, sometimes they used to do us what we will say we cannot. You call somebody, the person is hearing you, but you're not hearing the person. Or the person call you, you are hearing the person, but the person cannot hear you. Or sometimes somebody pick, you are not hearing, the person is not hearing. You understand? That's the kind of network we're having. But on the overall, a system can sometimes give you that kind of thing, but they have been trying. Okay, they have been trying. It's one of the stable network we have enjoyed over time. You understand? And this did not just come out of mere wishes. There are people that have been trained to respond to certain things, do certain things in a way, a manner that promotes emotional intelligence that we are enjoying it today. So let's look at Unilever. Unilever Nigeria, Unilever Kenya, Unilever Africa. I don't know whether, but I know that they are in several countries of Africa. Do you understand? The Unilever Nigeria or Unilever Kenya or Unilever Ghana, but they are in several African countries. Do you understand? So Unilever operates across multiple African countries and emphasizes emotional intelligence in its corporate practices. All right, so let's look at some of the key practices, training and workshops. Right, Unilever conduct workshops focused on emotional intelligence to enhance team collaboration and employee satisfaction. They also promote leadership development. The company incorporates emotional intelligence into its leadership training, all right, encouraging leaders to connect emotionally with their teams. and the inclusive culture. Unilever also fosters an inclusive work environment where diverse emotional expressions are valued and respected. So this is what Unilever is also doing. So it's not just about selling on milk and other consumables. It also built, a theme that is highly emotional and intelligent, and then they have been producing the result and the outcomes that you people have been witnessing. It's one of the stable companies we have in Nigeria today. Do you understand? At least in the kind of brands they promote, it's one of the stable institutions we have. And you think this thing just happened by mere wishes? No. People put effort. And one of those efforts is emotional intelligence training. So this is what it means. So what did you learn today? Can we see what you have learned today in the comment section? Because I know you have learned something. All right. So share with us what you have learned today. And the question now is, are you going to apply and integrate emotional intelligence in your organization? And if you're going to integrate, how are you going to integrate it? At what level are you going to integrate it? What level are you now? At that level where you are, can you influence something? Can you demonstrate emotional intelligence? And can you facilitate emotional intelligence in your organization? I want to hear from you. I want to know about you. I want to know what you intend to do with the training and the knowledge you are receiving in this training. Very important. And that's why we want you to do a video. And there are some other training. Alternative dispute. We are going to release the flyer for the training for alternative dispute this evening. So for those of you that want to apply for it, a form, this one you're going to fill a form. So I'm going to, after this meeting, I will release the flyer for alternative dispute resolution. All right. When it comes to alternative dispute resolution, anybody that's going to this training should prepare that you are going to um, demonstrate what you are learning by organizing some kind of dispute resolution. It can be a kind of simulation, or it can be a kind of there is an issue in your community, and then you intervene and demonstrate, and then share with us how you have been able to resolve the dispute. Do you understand? So, and we would love to see a good number of you enroll for the training. It's going to be massive. It's going to be massive. Very, very, very interesting program. So we are going to release it this evening why you are applying for this one, and then continue with the training. Do you understand? You apply for this one and continue with the training. So once we are done with this training, we are entering alternative dispute resolution strength. And then subsequently you get your certificate. I think by the time we are done with the training, I think your certification platform should also be ready. So that you just go and enter your details and download your certificate. So that you not take time like the first training we did. Do you understand? So the second training is going to be easy. So that's what it means. So once the platform is ready, you can get your certificate sharp without delays. So what do you learn today? Do you learn something? Yes. As a leader, what are you intending to do to apply emotional intelligence in your organization? So somebody is saying no audio. Is there no audio? All right. So that's what it means. So let me just go through the comment section and see what you guys are saying. Let me see what you guys are saying. All right. Okay. Let me start with Felicia. They say women first. All right. So Felicia again, she's saying Thanks so much for your very inspiring inputs. I am surely going to step down this journey at different levels of our school, from teachers to learners and then parents. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a very, very good one. And please, whenever you organize such training, please put it on a record, send it to us so that we can also show the world what you are doing to promote peace at your end. Because emotional intelligence contributes to a peaceful atmosphere. Do you understand? So that's what it means. Okay, Mr. Isaiah, empathize with your employees for continuous improvement and customer focus. Safaricom Company or Unilever Africa. So, thank you very much for taking your time to be part of today's training. All right, let me see what Ayodele is saying here. Ayodele say, I will share the training experience with my children in higher institution for better performance. That's a good one, sir. We would love to see when that is done so that we will know what you are doing at your end. Thank you very much for this commitment and and uh, and the resolution you have just made now. So, trickle down this knowledge you have learned into your student, and that will be good. You say you cannot reply to comment, and you are replying to comment now. See it, I don't know. You're tapping. So thank you very much. I really appreciate you. Okay, somebody is asking when is deadline. Um, when is the deadline for submission of videos? Yes, before you take your exams, so that when you take your exams, you can go and focus on your thing and getting your certificate and go. Because once you get your certificate, some of you will not even do it. So you do it before your exams. So it means that you are going to do it before the end of the month. Do your video before end of the month. Send it to us. Send it to me privately. All right. So we will now compile them and then send to the world to see what people are learning and your own testimonies. So that and then after this training, also there's something that we need to we share with you. Maybe we'll share with you in our WhatsApp group so that you can help us to fill the form. The form is going to help us because of our accreditation. Because if you want our accreditation to be renewed, then you have to rate our training so that the American Council of Training and Development, we renew our accreditation, because that is one of the conditions. So they send us a kind of review questionnaire for the trainees. So maybe after the training, we'll send it to you so that you can review it. And once you are filling it, they are seeing it, so you can tell them what you have learned. So we are not to influence what you say. Say what you have learned, what half the training, whether it's it or that's what it means. Positive uh, response. Definitely, they are going to renew our accreditation, and I think that will also continue to benefit you, because the accreditation gives you opportunity to use the certification globally. Do you understand? You can use the certification anywhere in the world. So that's why it's of vital importance to us and also to you, the participant as well. So thank you very much. So when the time comes, I will send you the link so that you can review the training as well. So thank you very much. See you tomorrow. Tomorrow is our induction in Port Harcourt. Those of you that want to be part of the induction, you can apply. You see how Abuja. Abuja is coming up on the 7th. Lagos is on the 14th. So you have the opportunity to apply to become a member of the institute. If that is, I know some of you here have applied already. You are waiting for your time to come for your induction. So you can take time to be part of the induction, and it's going to be a sort of positive impact. You know, give you more opportunity to contribute to promoting peace. Give you a platform where your voice can be heard. You understand? If your voice cannot be heard, why alone? This is a team, this is a family that collectively we address issues, and then your voice can be heard as a team. So thank you very much. I appreciate you. See you tomorrow by same time after our induction tomorrow in Port Harcourt. We'll be exhausted, but training is going to go on. We cannot be tired for the impact we are making. So see you tomorrow by 7 p.m. Have a wonderful night rest. Thank you and goodbye.